Most goals by a player in a Champions League campaign. Porto scored 14 goals across the 2013-14 Champions League group stage. For most teams, that's a respectable return. Enough to progress, enough to compete. The entire squad, strikers, midfielders, the occasional defender, combined for 14. They were gone from the competition before the knockouts even began. Then there was Cristiano Ronaldo. 17 goals. One man, through the entire tournament. He didn't just beat Porto's total, he demolished the concept of collective achievement. While Porto's 14 goals earned them an early exit, Ronaldo's 17 carried Real Madrid all the way to La Decima. He outscored entire squads, treating European knockout football like personal target practice. His goal-per-game ratio violated every statistical norm defenders thought was humanly possible. Haaland came close in 2023 with 12 goals, still 5 short. Even a Norwegian cyborg engineered purely for scoring couldn't get within touching distance of Ronaldo's rampage through Europe. Fastest goal in Champions League history. Santiago Bernabeu, 2007. Bayern Munich vs Real Madrid. The crowd settles into their seats. The players line up. The whistle blows. 10.12 seconds later, Roy Mackay has scored. Madrid's defenders were still processing pre-match instructions when the ball nestled in their net. Bayern Munich collected the ball after a Real Madrid mistake, passed it to Mackay, who finished with the composure of someone who'd rehearsed this exact scenario. The goal happened before the match had properly started, before tactical plans could be implemented, before anyone had broken a sweat. Most people take longer to find their seats at the stadium. Mackay needed less time to embarrass the most successful club in European history. Most Champions League titles by a club. Real Madrid owns 15 European Cups. The competition might as well be named after them. AC Milan trails with 7. Liverpool has 6. Everyone else is competing for participation certificates while Madrid renovates their trophy room for the 16th visit. They've weaponized the Champions League anthem. Other teams hear it and remember previous eliminations. Madrid hears it and starts planning the celebration route. 3-0 down, they'll win 4-3. Losing at half-time, expect 3 goals in 12 minutes. The club has mastered the art of the impossible comeback. The last-minute equalizer, the extra-time winner. Bayern and Liverpool would need 8 and 9 more titles respectively. That's roughly 2 decades of perfection neither will achieve. Most Champions League titles by a player. Paco Gento collected 6 European Cups between 1956 and 1966. He won so many that UEFA invented the modern Champions League format halfway through his career, possibly hoping someone else might get a turn. Gento speedran European domination during Real Madrid's golden era, playing alongside Di Stefano and Puskás while everyone else fought for silver medals. For nearly 6 decades, Gento stood alone. Then 2024 happened. Dani Carvajal and Luka Modric dragged Real Madrid to their 6th European trophy, matching Gento's record that had survived the Galacticos era, the Barcelona dynasty, and every super team assembled with oil money. Behind them sit Karim Benzema, Toni Kroos and Cristiano Ronaldo with 5 titles each. Kroos retiring 1 season short of the record when he could have stayed for 1 more run. The record isn't unbreakable anymore. It's been equaled. But reaching 7? That requires Carvajal or Modric to will their aging bodies through another Champions League triumph, or demand someone stay loyal to an elite club for over a decade. Players now switch clubs every 3 years, chasing salary increases that dwarf Gento's entire career earnings. Most Champions League goals in history. 140. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just set a record. He created a separate statistical dimension where only he exists. Messi sits second with 129 goals, already an absurd total. Then comes a canyon. Lewandowski has 94. Benzema finished with 90. These are generational strikers who dedicated careers to European football, and Ronaldo leads them by margins that represent entire excellent seasons. He scored more than many clubs across multiple campaigns. Scored in finals for 2 different teams. Scored against every variety of defense across 2 decades. Erling Haaland currently has 53 goals in 51 games. To catch Ronaldo, he'd need approximately 8 to 10 more elite seasons without injury, going more or less all the way to the final, not moving to a non-Champions League club, and without discovering normal human limitations. If anyone can break it, it may be him. Fastest hat-trick in Champions League history. Mohamed Salah vs Rangers 2022. 6 minutes 12 seconds, 3 goals. Rangers defenders experienced temporal distortion. One moment they're playing Champions League football, the next they're background extras in Salah's highlight reel. The Egyptian forward entered Ibrox, systematically dismantled the defensive structure, and left before most fans had processed what they'd witnessed. For context, this happened in the Champions League knockout rounds. Elite competition against professional defenders with tactical preparation and video analysis. Lewandowski once scored 5 Bundesliga goals in 9 minutes, but that came against 10 men in domestic football. Salah faced 11 players who simply forgot their defensive responsibilities existed. The 3 goals arrived with clinical precision. Same movements, same finish, same outcome. Rangers supporters still require counselling.
Biggest aggregate win. Bayern Munich, Sporting CP, 2 legs, 2009, 12-1. A prolonged public execution spread across 180 minutes. Sporting kept it respectable in Munich, losing just 5-0. Then came Lisbon. Bayern scored 7 more, as if personally offended they hadn't hit double digits in the first leg. Sporting's goalkeeper reconsidered his career path. Their defenders contemplated early retirement. Bayern treated the knockout rounds like a training exercise where nobody explained the rule of mercy. Today's Champions League has evolved beyond this level of humiliation. Even weaker sides now employ tactical systems, video preparation, and defensive structures built by sports scientists and data analysts. Bayern's massacre belongs to a different era of European competition. Youngest goalscorer. Ansu Fati scored at 17 years and 40 days old, still dealing with school homework, still experiencing growth spurts. Most teenagers that age are figuring out university applications and struggling with basic algebra. Fati was navigating Europe's best defenders while Barcelona supporters anointed him Messi's successor. The pressure should have crushed him already. Instead, he scored, celebrated, and presumably went home to study for exams. Football's beautiful contradiction: elite athletes who remain legally children. Fati became Barcelona's youngest Champions League scorer, beating Messi's previous record. Unfortunately, injuries derailed what appeared to be a generational trajectory. But that goal, scored at 17, stays frozen in history, proof that talent occasionally arrives before logic says it should. Oldest goalscorer. Pepe scored for Porto at 40 years and 254 days old. The man built his reputation on tactical violence, blocking runs, making strikers think they were participating in an MMA match. He spent 2 decades perfecting football's dark arts, collecting red cards and intimidating opponents. Then, in his final act, he became the competition's oldest goalscorer. Peak irony. It's discovering your terrifying head teacher writes poetry. Porto fans couldn't process it. Pepe, the defensive enforcer who headbutted people and treated referees with open contempt, scoring at an age when most professionals have retired to become pundits or coaches. This record transcends age. It's about obsession. A player so committed to winning, he rewrote his entire legacy in the dying moments of an impossible career.
Most assists in a single Champions League season.
James Milner recorded 9 assists in 2017-18. Boring James Milner. The midfielder whose idea of excitement involves properly organised tea collections. He delivered 9 Champions League assists in 1 season. More than Neymar, more than De Bruyne has managed in any single campaign. More than players whose entire brand centers on creativity. Liverpool's least flashy player became Europe's most effective provider while maintaining his trademark efficiency. Milner doesn't showboat, doesn't do elaborate skills, doesn't celebrate like he's cured a disease. He delivers crosses with algorithmic precision. While Salah and Firmino scored, Milner functioned as the logistics system keeping everything operational. The achievement suits him perfectly, something remarkable accomplished while appearing completely unremarkable, sandwiched between thoughts about lawn maintenance and proper recycling procedures. Most saves in one match. Dmitro Riznik made 15 saves against PSV in November 2024. 15. PSV attacked relentlessly. Distance shots, close-range efforts, headers, volleys, and Riznik rejected everything. A one-man defensive revolution against the fundamental concept of goals. His teammates must have watched in confusion, wondering if they'd accidentally recruited a supernatural entity. Elite goalkeepers typically make 3 or 4 saves per match. Riznik tripled that. Sometimes one goalkeeper defies mathematics and probability, transforming a probable thrashing into a competitive match through pure individual brilliance. Most red cards. Sergio Ramos collected 4 Champions League red cards. Edgar Davids and Zlatan Ibrahimovic share this record, forming an unholy trinity of disciplinary chaos. 3 players, 3 completely different flavors of getting sent off. Davids, the pitbull midfielder who averaged a red card every 550 minutes, received all 4 via 2 yellow cards. Never a straight red, just repeatedly biting twice. Ibrahimovic combined controlled aggression with momentary explosions, including a memorable assault on Oscar's calf at Stamford Bridge that left the Chelsea midfielder writhing. Then there's Ramos, who achieved the record with theatrical flair and 3 straight red cards, the most of any player in the competition. The man who scored crucial headers and organized defensive lines also mastered the art of subtle violence. Ramos played football like he was perpetually 3 seconds from losing his temper, which made him both brilliant and volatile. Today's players can't replicate this. VAR reviews every incident from 17 angles in slow motion. This trio operated in an era where referees had one viewing angle and questionable eyesight, allowing controlled aggression if your timing was precise. Nobody's matching 4 red cards now. The game's gone soft.
Fastest sending off. João Correa lasted 3 minutes. Kairat Almaty versus Paphos FC. The referee showed red before half the stadium had found their seats, before commentators finished reading team sheets, before anyone had properly settled into the match. Correa's participation barely qualified as involvement. The Champions League equivalent of getting fired on your first day for microwaving fish in the office kitchen. The match had barely started when Correa was walking down the tunnel, presumably contemplating how to explain this to his manager, his teammates, and everyone who'd ever believed in him. Keith Gillespie holds the Premier League record at 10 seconds. Correa needed 3 entire minutes, almost relaxed by comparison. Most consecutive seasons scoring in the Champions League. Karim Benzema scored in 18 consecutive Champions League seasons. 18. He found the net in this competition since before Instagram started existing, across multiple tactical revolutions and countless football generations. Players emerged, dominated, retired, and became television pundits while Benzema continued scoring Champions League goals. He survived the Galacticos era, adapted through the Ronaldo years, then transformed into the main character himself. Benzema scored through everything. He evolved his game from explosive young striker to complete forward to deep-lying playmaker who casually scored 30 goals. Sustained excellence across an incomprehensible timeline, achieved while playing for a club where failure means immediate replacement. Lewandowski currently sits on 13 consecutive seasons. He needs 5 more years of elite performance. Good luck. Most career assists in Champions League history. Cristiano Ronaldo recorded 42 Champions League assists. Apparently, scoring 140 goals left him insufficiently occupied, so he decided to become a world-class creator simultaneously.
While everyone obsessed over goal celebrations and trademark movements, Ronaldo quietly set up teammates across 2 decades. The assists came in every form: pinpoint crosses, clever through balls, unselfish cutbacks, even occasional headers across goal. Football wants to categorize players into rigid positions with defined responsibilities. Ronaldo refused. He scored, assisted, and dribbled. These 42 assists sit alongside his 140 goals as proof some players exist on different statistical planets. Angel Di Maria and Lionel Messi are the 2 behind Ronaldo with 41 and 40 assists respectively. Close, but not close enough.
Longest winning streak in Champions League history. 15 consecutive victories. Bayern Munich, 2020 to 2021. They processed opponents through a tactical machine that produced only one outcome: Bayern victories. The streak ran from the round of 16 in 2020 through to the quarter-final in 2021. No draws, no narrow survival, just relentless, systematic domination across multiple competitions and seasons. Barcelona suffered an 8-2 demolition. Every team faced the same fate: defeated, demoralized, dismissed. Lewandowski scored constantly. Manuel Neuer barely had anything to do. The entire squad functioned like they'd obtained answers to an exam everyone else was attempting sight unseen. In the current era, Champions League football probably has too much parity for winning streaks, tactical surprises, VAR decisions, individual brilliance from underdogs. Any of these should have stopped 15 straight victories. Bayern won anyway. Most Champions League finals as a manager. Carlo Ancelotti has reached 6 Champions League finals. 6. Alex Ferguson managed 4 finals. Marcello Lippi reached 4. Ancelotti has 6 and continues working. The Italian operates with supernatural calm during finals. While everyone else experiences nervous breakdowns, he probably checks his espresso temperature during extra time. Ancelotti has witnessed everything: dramatic comebacks, painful collapses, penalty shootout victories, injury time winners. Nothing surprises him. His eyebrow raise contains more experience than most managers accumulating complete careers. He won with AC Milan twice, losing a third. Won with Real Madrid 3 times. The man has witnessed every possible Champions League final scenario. Pep Guardiola has reached 4 finals. He'd need 2 more to equal Ancelotti's total. Could he be the one to break the record? Most Champions League titles as a manager. Again, not surprisingly, 5 titles belong to Carlo Ancelotti. He didn't just reach 6 finals, he converted 5 into trophies. A great success rate in football's highest pressure environment. Bob Paisley won 3. Zinedine Zidane won 3. Pep Guardiola has 3. Ancelotti has 5. No theatrical touchline behavior, no elaborate tactical manifestos, just quiet authority and an unmatched understanding of winning when stakes are highest. Ancelotti embodies old-school football wisdom, prioritizing man management over rigid systems, adapting to circumstances rather than enforcing ideologies, delivering results instead of philosophical speeches. Most Champions League finals as a player.
Both Paco Gento and Paolo Maldini appeared in 8 European Cup or Champions League finals during their careers. Gento achieved this during Real Madrid's 1950s to 60s dominance. Maldini did it across AC Milan's multiple eras of excellence. 8 finals represents almost a decade of sustained elite club performance. Toni Kroos managed 6 finals, which already defies probability. But 8? That's an entire career spent competing for European football's ultimate prize. Neither Gento nor Maldini were passengers. Both were fundamental players for their clubs, appearing in these finals because they were essential to getting there. Most Champions League appearances. Maybe not a surprise. Cristiano Ronaldo played 183 Champions League matches. Iker Casillas sits second with 177 appearances. Everyone else fights for third place. Ronaldo competed in Champions League football across 4 different clubs and multiple decades. Scored in finals for 2 different teams. won the competition 5 times, played against multiple generations of defenders who all shared identical experiences, watching Ronaldo celebrate while reconsidering their defensive abilities. Those 183 matches encompass group stages, knockout rounds, finals, comebacks, hat-tricks, and probably every emotion football generates. Players today get rotated constantly and have their minutes carefully managed. Ronaldo treated every match like a final for nearly 2 decades. Manuel Neuer with 153 as of October 2025, and Luka Modric continues playing with 142 appearances. They would need 3 to 5 seasons in the elite company to catch up. Heaviest defeat in a Champions League final. PSG demolished Inter Milan 5-0 in the 2025 Champions League final. 5-0. Inter arrived for the biggest match of the season and experienced a tactical earthquake. Not a competitive final that gradually deteriorated. Systematic destruction on European football's grandest stage. The scoreline suggests Inter forgot basic football concepts. Their defenders appeared to be meeting each other for the first time. Most Champions League finals are tight, cautious affairs decided by single goals or penalty shootouts. This was 5-0. A comprehensive humiliation of an Italian team famous for defensive excellence. Even at elite levels, some nights everything malfunctions simultaneously. Inter supporters avoid this topic at family gatherings, job interviews, and anywhere near functioning adults who might remember.
Lowest possession in a Champions League win. Celtic beat Barcelona 2-1 in 2012 with 16% possession. 16. They didn't just park the bus, Celtic excavated a trench, filled it with reinforced concrete, and posted snipers at strategic angles. Barcelona passed the ball 834 times. Celtic managed maybe 50 passes total, 2 of which were kickoffs. Messi, Xavi and Iniesta probed endlessly, passing with metronomic precision, completely dominating possession. Celtic defended, cleared and won anyway. Victor Wanyama headed them in front in the 21st minute. Tony Watt scored the winner in the 83rd. Celtic's second shot on target. The football equivalent of winning chess with only pawns remaining. Modern analytics insist possession correlates with victory. Celtic disagreed. They proved that defensive organisation, discipline, and 2 clinical moments can beat the best team on the planet. The statistics are absurd. The result remains perfect. These records are proof football occasionally abandons logic, probability, and mathematical possibility. Some seasons produce an individual 17-goal Champions League campaigns. Some careers span 2 decades of European dominance without decline. The Champions League doesn't just crown champions, it manufactures mythology. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss when these records finally get broken.